Hi, Leo, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 20th to the 28th, 2022 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Leo, February 20th to the 28th, 2022, Leo. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. 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 At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The top is our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root, we have 3, which is quite intense. We have the Fool coming up, so there's a need to move forward. There's Cancer energy coming forward, so if we are born on the cusp with Cancer or have Cancer within our natal chart, that's going to be coming through quite powerfully, as well as if we have Taurus within our natal chart, that's going to be coming up quite powerfully here at our root. But there's a real sense of, with the Hierophant, traditions are going to be important to us, but also the tradition of how we need to move forward for ourselves is all about what's out at our root right here. We have the Fool, I want to move forward, I want to get to where it is I need to be. The Chariot has that sense of movement too, which is very, very important to this time. And then we have the institution of how do I move forward in the tradition that is right for me, but also how do I work within the scope of what I have to deal with right now, with what is going on at this point. So just being very aware of that. It moves us to our inner self, which is the 8 of Cups. This is walking away from something we once thought we would love. So there's a severe ending here, and the 9 of Swords. We're definitely going to be having a bit of a doubt about it, a bit of doubts about it. So there is just going to be the sense of, am I moving forward the right way? Am I moving in the right, in the right sphere for me? And that's definitely a theme of this time that we have to be aware of here. The Page of Pentacles comes up, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So again, if we have Earth sign energy within our natal chart, that's coming up in our inner selves. But it's also very much the sense of, what am I working towards? And this can be very much, what am I working towards to build a better future for my home, for my kids, for my family, for myself? What were my dreams when I was little? How is it, equating to what I want right now? So there's a bit of a grappling going on that we need to be aware of here. It brings us to Virgo. It brings us, Hermit, energy, right? Virgo energy. So if we're born on the cusp with Virgo, but this is a sense of, am I moving in the right direction? Let me look inwardly at me and what I want and what I desire and what I need. And there's very much a sense of illumination of my path. It brings us to the Tower. Things are changing. In the public arena, things aren't going to be staying the same. And that's why we're dealing with all this change right here, right now. And then it leads us to the High Priestess. We're seeing things that had once eluded us before. Like we didn't know, but we knew. So I don't know if that makes sense, but you know, when you're talking about something or you're doing something and you're like, I have this feeling, I have this knowledge, I don't know if it's right, or I don't know if I'm heading in the right direction. Now there's starting to be an aha moment, you know, this light bulb moment that goes on, this illumination that comes around us. And it's like, oh, that's what I was moving towards. Oh, that's what I wanted. It's like, oh, this is it, right? So that's very much setting up the whole entire stage for what this time is. Let's look at the energy we are to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. This is the Chariot. And yeah, it's definitely letting our hearts, and we could be born on the cusp with Cancer. I don't know if I said that before. But here, there's this sense of, I'm moving forward, and I could be moving forward with such tenacity, with such determination, and my emotions are taking over. And Leo, when we have our emotions take over and we're not also balancing it with our logic or with our personal passion, and it's just pure emotion based, we can get ourselves into a very sticky wicket situation. You know, it can be just a little bit too intense. So we have to be mindful of that. And we also have to be mindful of the people around us riling us up. This is a person who is emotionally like vomiting on everybody. It's just like they have so much pain within them. They have so much, there's a turmoil within them that they need to see, that they need to address. And they're going to have a tendency to want to drag us right along with them because they can see that we're moving. They can also see that we're questioning certain things. So they're going to be like, oh, well, don't you want to jump on my bandwagon with me? And the fact of the matter is, it's like, no, not really. No, I don't. Even if what they're saying is really intriguing to us, we need to step back from situations and say, okay, why is this intriguing? What's going on here? You know, very much open up, you know, to our mind and to ourselves. Let's look at our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Personal power. Yeah, there's a real sense of reclaiming a lot within us, reclaiming our power, reclaiming our passion, reclaiming what we desire, and that is opening us to more. This is the sacral chakra. So this is very much listening to our guts, what we want, what we need, how we are becoming what we are becoming during this time, and just for us in general. So at our root here, you know, it is the Fool. It is the sense of, I need to take this leap of faith. I need to go after what I want and who I am and what's important to me, because there's going to be this energy of hesitation within us. And if we want to see the astrology about that, I'll link it in the description box below, because I cut them up into separate videos. So here, there's just this sense of, I need to move forward, but our brains are doubting us. It's doubting the leap of faith that we're taking. It's doubting the way that we're moving. It's doubting what we want. So we have to be very, very mindful of that, of feeling trapped, and yet we're not trapped. It's like the door is opened for the bird, right? The cage door is open, and the bird can fly free, but they're not, because they're just so used to being stuck in that cage, being stuck in that, you know, way of being in that position. So just be very, very, very aware of this during this time. The Fool is saying jump. Remember, every single hero's journey begins with that person first being a fool, being laughed at, being mocked. You know, every single person who goes against the norm, who goes against the grain, there's ridicule. There's doubt, there's fear. And we are having to acknowledge that as we move forward, because we have that so much in our mental selves coming up, you know, in our inner selves. Like, that's something that we're worrying about. It's like a hamster wheel that we are worrying about, and Spirit's saying, really, be mindful of this. It moves us to the Chariot. You know, the Chariot is all about us moving forward. It's all about us going after what we want, what we need, and being able to charge forward. But we have to be very mindful of our emotions not getting the best of us, because sometimes when we step out of the realm of the balance of the emotional self and the logical self, we step into the realm of either the extreme of one or another. One makes us very cold and calculating and can be very disturbing in that way. The other makes us hysterical, you know, and it's kind of like that vomiting of emotions that we're having to deal with here. We don't want to end up that way. That person who's just exhaustingly exasperating because of all the trauma that is going on. So here we're going to have to look at things and say, how am I balancing, you know, the logic and the emotion? How am I moving forward? Because we're going to be sucked into one extreme or the other, and we have to be aware of that. The Hierophant comes into play, and that's tradition. That's the way it's always been done. It is the knowledge and the understanding and the insight. And so here we have to look at not only the tradition socially that we're stepping into, because there are always social constructs that we're stepping into, even if they're relationships. It's a give and take of, what do you expect from the relationship, what do I expect from the relationship. In work, it's that, it's that partnership that's needed. What does my employer, or what does, my boss want from me, expect from me. And then looking at things when we don't seem to be producing what it is that is expected, or when there's something more to us that needs to be expressed during this time, and finding ways to incorporate that, maybe not into the work as we know it right now, but other avenues, other ways that are opening up to us. So just being very aware of this. The Hierophant comes in. This is tradition, but this is also the tradition of ourselves. This is, what if I walk away from this aspect of me, this part of me, and try either to fit the mold that's just not working, or it's like trying to fit. It's trying to fit the wrong key into the wrong lock. It's just not going to open up any doors. So we're going to have to be aware of that right here and right now. It moves us to the Eight of Cups. We're walking away from something we once loved. I mean, it is like, this is an ending. This could be the ending of a relationship. This could be the ending of a job. This here, I would say, this is because the Hierophant energy is also the major arcana not lover's card, but marriage card. So it's the institution, it's the contractual obligation that we enter into in marriage, in work situations. There's something here that we're moving away from. Some of us are really looking to start our own businesses. Some of us are looking to progress in our field, and we have to just be mindful of the challenges that we're going to meet, because we're meeting with them. And we're going to find that we're actually taking different roads than we thought we would be taking. And we're moving forward in a way that we thought, oh, I'm not going to do this, or oh, it's not going to be like that. And now it's like, oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. I'm opening up this door quite profoundly, because I'm turning my back on what no longer works for me. And as that is done, my goodness, are we going to give ourselves guilt? I mean, this is like, are you doing the right thing? Are you sure? I can't believe you're doing this type of thing. This is worry. This is doubt. This is fear. This could be having a big project to need to get done. And it's just like, am I able to produce it? Am I able to move forward this way? Am I able to get what I want? Or even in a relationship, one door closes. How do I open up the other door? Am I even ready to open up the other door type of thing? So very much being mindful that this endless worrying that we're doing inwardly, it's not helping us. It's robbing us of our sleep. It's robbing us of our energy to create and get things done. So just be very aware of that. The Page of Pentacles at our heart. I mean, I'm really seeing this right now as a child coming in. So this is like energy that needs to be taken care of. This could be a person who needs to be taken care of. They might not be a child. They might be somebody who just needs to be nurtured during this time. But this is very much the sense of what prosperity is growing. This is also a dream that we have within our heart. How am I nourishing it? How am I understanding it? How am I opening up this door? How am I seeing me? That's going to be really important for us here, Leo, at this time, and looking at what we want. So that's going to be a bigger thing for us to really understand. And as we're looking at this, we're going to find that things kind of start to settle down around the July timeframe. Yeah, around the July timeframe, the 7th month, things start to come in. There's clarity that comes in around the 5th month. So May, right here. Sorry, had a bit of a concussion, so things aren't coming to me as quickly. And as we turn inward, this is going to be a journey of like shedding a skin. This is going to be a journey. I don't see this really equating to time as I do the root right here. But there's a sense of, this is what I'm planting. This is what I want. This is what I need. This is what I'm nourishing within myself. We're also starting to ask questions. Like, this is a time where if you want to learn, your heart is really open to it. Your heart is ready to learn more information. It's not necessarily about the mind. The mind might be completely overloaded. So we have to be very mindful with this. But emotionally, it's like, I want to plant new seeds. I want to see how things grow. I would highly suggest, like, this is a time where you can get out in nature and start to see plants growing. But of course, if you live in a really cold climate like I do, the ground is still frozen. So do be mindful, but there's a sense of, this is what I long for. Like, this is what I want. And I do see it as nourishing something. It could be like starting a first draft of a book, or, sketching out a picture or a painting. I do see it as something either related to to creative genius or, scientific genius. It's very much the sense of I'm embracing this genius within me and I'm letting out. And that's why I have to turn inward. That's why I have to see myself more and more. That's why I have to have the path illuminated for me, because as the path is illuminated and as I turn in to see that path, it's like, oh, okay, I get this. Oh, okay, I understand this. And we're shedding that skin. We're shedding that skin of who we are or who we were to step into who we are. And that leads to the tower. Here it is destruction and enlightenment and release. Things have to fall down. Things have to be destroyed in order for them to be rebuilt, in order for, new innovation to come in. And though we understand that maybe, in the realms of city planning or something like that, or, with tools that come in that are innovative and useful and helpful to everybody, we don't really see that in the realm of ourselves. And so here we're definitely seeing it as God, source, spirit, however we see the divine, the universe has kicked us out of our comfort zone. And we have had to walk through the rubbles and the hurts and the pains and the disappointments and the doubts and the fears. And this is a time where it's like, oh, but this is me now. Like, this is the transformation that I've had. This is the enlightenment that comes through this change. And this change, when we go through a tower time, we usually think of something like losing a house or losing a loved one, or, and it doesn't have to mean through, it could be any type of emotional loss coming in, right? But it could be something very subtle. It could be the way that we thought things were going to go. They didn't. And now we're left with some sort of devastation that has taken our idea of the way our world is progressing and turned it on its head. And Spirit's saying, this happened for a reason. You're going to start to see things in a much more knowledgeable, enlightened way because of it, because this is secrets and dreams and wisdom and inner voice and spiritual world. And that's what's speaking to us, wisdom. And secrets are coming out. And it's like, if it didn't all fall apart, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know that this was the path that I was supposed to be on. I wouldn't know that this was a door I was supposed to be opening. And so Spirit's really saying to us, pay attention. In the waking world, when we have all this going on inside, pay attention to what is being revealed to us. Pay attention to that voice that is speaking to us. Pay attention to the knowledge that is coming our way, because we're not going to be looking at things as it has to be constructed, right? It has to be set in stone. We're looking at things like a child. It can be malleable. It can be imaginative. It can be filled with whimsy and whim and still be useful to us. And that's going to be the public arena. Now, Leo, are we going to be open-minded to whimsy and whim? And sometimes not really, because we want things to be structured and ordered and show us, the progression to our success and to our power. But this is going to be part of the progression to our success and to our power, because it's like, oh, but this is the knowledge, this is the wisdom that I needed. And as we're starting to see things in a very different light, as the veil is lifted from our eyes, as we're seeing ourselves differently, as we're seeing those around us differently, it's an acknowledgement of our own success. It's an acknowledgement of the way that we finally get to move forward for us and not what everybody else is demanding of us. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is frailty, is Sagittarius energy. We have to be mindful of following somebody else's dream and somebody else's story. That because their passion, matches our passion, because they are as determined as we want to be. But we have to look at what we want as the individual, not what they want from us. That's going to be really important during this time. It moves us to our subconscious chakra energy, and that is play, the heart chakra. The heart controls so much. The human body does not play when we do not feel safe. And so here, to let play in and to be a part of play and to let play be a part of us means that we're starting to feel safe within our world. And even if we just let ourselves, even if we don't feel safe within the world that we're right now, which is horrible to say, but letting ourselves have a moment to laugh, finding a way to move forward towards a freedom, towards an ability to express and play and let joy in, that's going to be one of the most powerful things that we can do. It moves us to our subconscious rooted energy, and that is the death card. This is Scorpio energy. This is the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new. This is transformation right here. And as we are being transformed, we are starting to find ourselves. We are stepping into that new skin. We're shedding that old skin, and we're really starting to step into ourselves. It's like a phoenix rising from the ashes. There are secrets that we have. We need to hold them. We're going to really want to share everything. There's a sense, I just feel it with that Cancer energy. It's like share, share, share. And Spirit saying here, hold back. Hold it back. Look at what you want. Move things forward. Don't share all your blessings or everything that you desire. My mom would say this. My grandparents would say this as well. 90% of the people don't care, and 10% will wish you ill. Keep what you want to yourself and watch that dream grow for you. It's not for anybody else. It moves us to our subconscious inner self, and that is the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is healing and it's unity. It's the Minor Arcana Lovers card. There's a real sense here that if we quiet our world and ourselves, and if we really start to embrace what we want, we're going to start to see ourselves moving forward in just a new way, in a profound way, in a beautiful way. And there's a sense of the sacred feminine, the sacred masculine, of us coming together. And there's a sense of beauty and power really being here. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self, and that is the Wheel of Fortune. Things are changing, and we can feel that. We're entering into a new season. We're entering into a new time. We're entering into a new understanding. We feel like we're on a roller coaster ride emotionally, and again, that is apparent within the cards. Things are changing. We are changing, and as things and we are changing, we're starting to find our footing. We're starting to see ourselves. We're starting to see what, the new landscape is like. It's kind of like entering into another season. When fall starts and summer has ended, you don't keep on wearing your summer clothes because you'll get super cold and it will make you unhealthy. It's looking at what is needed at the appropriate time and understanding that, yes, I might feel like I'm on this roller coaster ride. Like once I get used to something, everything changes again. But that is a powerful force within us. Leo, we don't like change as much as other people do. We like change when it is exciting and brings power, right? But we are represented by the sun in astrology, and the sun is steadfast. So we like things to stay pretty steadfast, pretty, burning in that intensity. And so we have to realize that the change will be harder for us than maybe it is for other people. It brings us to our subconscious inner self, public arena self, and that is the Ace of Cups. God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing us a gift of healing, beautiful wisdom that cleanses the heart. It takes the heaviness of the heart and it washes away the hurts and the pains and the disappointment. Here we have love and relationship and beginnings, and that's what we're embracing: love, relationships, and beginnings. We're embracing something that is more. We're embracing a sense of a new start and a new beginning for us. The relationship doesn't have to be a romantic one. It could be a new relationship within work. It can be a new form of study. It can be a new way of understanding ourselves and what we desire. And so here, there's a cleansing that's coming forward within us that can make us feel emotionally vulnerable and subconsciously, especially since we have the High Priestess here, we're feeling so much, we're seeing so much, and everything is changing. It's like, do I want that emotional vulnerability or am I going to fight against it? And what Spirit is letting us know is that this emotional vulnerability is going to be very powerful and very pertinent to us during this time. All right, Leo. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the intensity that is coming to us during this time. And the opening of doors, because really there is a sense of, I need to move forward. I need this change. And so we're going to see doors opening, even though we're just worried about everything that's closed to us or everything that hasn't happened. So just be aware of that. The power is coming forward. It really is. Okay, so take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Leo.